So, once again, welcome to the webinar dox42 NAV Document Creator. Yes, it is a webinar by dox42 and BSH, Business Systemhaus. We may just introduce ourselves a bit. Yes, my name is Christian Bauer. I'm the CEO of dox42. dox42 is a product vendor, independent software vendor. We are a Microsoft Gold certified partner. We are situated in Vienna, and we provide the product dox42. More about that during the webinar. And I'm very happy to be here together with Michael Zettl from Business Systemhaus. Morning, Michael.
Good morning. Yeah, also a very warm welcome from my side. My name is Michael Zettl. I'm General Manager at Business Systemhaus AG. We are a German Dynamics NAV-Partners since the earliest versions of Dynamics NAV. So I think in the 90s we began to sell and introduce Dynamics NAV at our customers. And we are very well known in the German-speaking region through our products we sell. We have some ISV modules for NAV, but this one, the dox42 product, is our first international product. We launched together with dox42, and yeah, so we also would be happy if you just have a look at our social profiles at Twitter and LinkedIn and get in contact with us. Okay, so what we will do today is have a look where the new RDLC reporting brought us in NAV. It's a kind of depression that came to the community. And a few weeks ago we had the Directions EMEA in Prague, and we double-checked this with all the other partners if this depression is really there, and the feedback was just amazing. So it's not just us who feel this depression, but all the other partners have the same problems. And you probably know this kind of screenshot, our famous Visual Studio, which is our tool today for developing NAV reports. And probably the saying that how much fun it is to design reports in RDLC is something you never heard anybody say. It just changed a lot of things in our business with NAV. And it made something with us. So I think most of you that are developers already experienced the thing that you worked a bit on a design, and then it's kind of exploded, and you had to start from scratch because you did a little mistake in the sophisticated user interface of Visual Studio. And this is causing a lot of problems and depression at our developers. And today we can say NAV reporting has become a very specialized skill. There are also a lot of training. So in former days you had one day of training for making reports, or you gave one day of training for customers that they learn to do it. Today we offer report training of about 3 days, and so it has more than doubled, and it's getting more complicated, and you need a lot of skills and knowledge of different kind of technologies. So what we experience is that a lot of our consultants that were able in former times to design reports themselves, they are not longer able to do this. It's sometimes because they just don't have Visual Studio on their PC. That's also a question of cost. If you have to spread out the Visual Studio tool on all your PCs. But it's also something a consultant that is very good in manufacturing or in finance, he's not development guy. He just wants to make small and fast changes in design of reports, and this is not possible in our days anymore. But the fun fact is that also some of the NAV developers are not longer able to design reports themselves. So we had a case where one of our developers, he said he will retire because he was already over 60, and he said he don't want to get into this in the last 5 years, and it's just too complicated. And yes, we checked this with other partners, and they have the same kind of experiences. So this is really something that changed the way we partners are working. And yeah, the last point is a lot of our customers that were able to do some kind of layouting themselves, or even to program a report themselves, they are not longer able to do it. So the first time they see how it is in the new world of RDLC, they just freak out and say that this can't be true. What has happened to our fast and flexible NAV? So what this is bringing to us is the risk that the upgrade projects, they are costing us a lot of time for upgrading reports, and our development resources, that they are just filled out with report upgrading, but you would need them for the business logic or to do some more sophisticated things, but they are in reporting today. And because of this, a lot of customers think, okay, when now the costs for migrating these reports are so high, so why not thinking about changing the ERP system as a whole? And so this is also a thing that brings a lot of risk for a Dynamics NAV partner to lose their customers, and it's just frustrating. And sometimes the customer says, yeah, I would like to contribute to the development report, but I'm not able anymore to do it. When they are doing it, so we found out that often the customers, they take it takes a lot of time till they get into this new technology, and if they say during an upgrade project they will do some things for themselves, it often came out that they actually did not all the reports they thought they can do. So, and some of the reports they made, so their first experiences and first tries to make an NAV report were so lousy, so that we had to delete them and make them from scratch, just that we have a better base for maintaining a report. So this is something what is really a problem today. And we have a lot of customers that just want to change reports themselves. They don't want to pick up a telephone every day and ask for a change request, to get a single word formatted in bold or not in bold. And they want to be flexible and want to do it on their own. And what then happens today is the customers are calling us all the day long, asking our developers to change little things in their reports. And every partner, they lack of capacity of NAV developers, and they are today waste a lot of time in making little changes that need not a lot of knowledge, but a lot of time, and need just the tool. So if a customer could do it themselves, he would do it. And even sometimes the consultant or the project manager of a customer, he would do it, but he can't do it today. So in a special way, Microsoft realized this, and in NAV 2015, they decided to introduce a word layout. However, the word layout, I know no partner that is using this very extensively in a real-life project, and it's very simple. Why? So first of all, I think one thing is this is just possible up from NAV 2015. So all the other customers that have 2013 or 29 or so, they can't use this. And also in NAV 2017, there are no major changes in the word layouting. So it doesn't look that this is a great field where Microsoft is investing a lot of knowledge and time to make improvements. And the greatest pain from my point of view is that the creation test process is it's just depressing. Yeah? So you have to export the layout, you have to open it in Word, you have to make a change with all its placeholders. Then you have to re-import it into NAV, you have to run it, then you see the result. You will realize that something is not exactly the way you wanted it, so you have to export it again, change it again, import it. So the process is so long that it makes no fun at all, and it makes no difference to change this in Visual Studio or in Word. It's yeah, a kind of the same process. And when you look at this picture, you can already see on the right side the data set, which is the base of this report. It's not user-friendly at all. So most of the reports, they have complex structures, and even the consultants often don't know the difference between 5 field names that sound nearly the same. And so this is something the customer is struggling with, and does not really help him. And I think one final thing, if you just want a little enhancement of your report, say you want the region code for a customer in a report, you again have to go back to developer and ask him to add this new field to the report in design mode. So you need again a kind of developer knowledge to make changes. So the process is not very smooth and fast and flexible. One of the things I don't really think most of the customers like is that the standard is opening Word when you make a preview or running a report in the Word layout in NAV. Well, you can change this with a few adaptations, but you have again to adopt it. You have to do some developing. But normally the customer don't want the quote to be generated in Word, and then you have to print the Word file. So they say they want the documents in PDFs. And this is also some of the disadvantages. Well, graphics and diagrams, they are not supported at all. So when you take the famous top 10 customer report from NAV with its famous graphics in it, the graphic just will not show up in Word layout. So you just can make reports with plain text, but if you need more sophisticated things in a project report or something else, it will not work with a standard Word layouting in NAV. There are also some more things I just want to stress out at the beginning of this presentation. So we can't show everything in the demo, but just to give you some ideas what our dox42 solution can do if you compare with an NAV layout. So I think one of the big thing is we can use Excel calculations and charts in Word. I will show it later in my demo. We are able to manipulate and transform data in Word during the creation process. So in NAV reporting, you have to take all the fields exactly like they are coming through the data set. And if your currency field is not formatted the way you want it, you really have a problem. Or if you have a date field that is not formatted as you like it, it will cost you a lot of effort to change it. So we can manipulate all this directly in Word. Another great thing is we can combine data from different NAV companies in one document. So we can even combine data from different NAV databases in one document. And this is not so easy to achieve in normal NAV reporting. Another thing that is often necessary, especially in trade solutions, is to embed existing PDFs or graphics or text. So often you have a code of conduct or some other documents, manuals you want to add to your quotes or to your invoices, and they are already somewhere, and you want to add it to your PDF document. And well, you can use PDF merge tools and a lot of things, but normally you want to integrate it in your document, and with our solution you can do that very easily. The next thing is barcodes. So also something that is not really possible with the word layout of NAV. In our solution we have access to a lot of different barcode types. So we just take a number field, and then we can define which kind of barcode type this number should be transformed. In our layouting, we can very easily use frames. We can use smart arts, or often when a customer has a special corporate identity and he likes the document to be designed in a very special way, this is getting very hard in NAV, especially if you have frames around some parts of your page. So in Word this is not really a big deal. Another thing is changing page orientation. So if your customer is asking you today to change for a certain report the orientation, because you need some columns more, this is taking a lot of effort in the NAV report. In Word it's just one click, and you can change this to portrait or landscape, and you can also in one document change it. So the first page could be a landscape, the second page could be another orientation, and back forward. I will show one example of this in my demo. One of the things that are also very hard to achieve in NAV reporting is if you like to have different headers and footers per page. So often there is a wish that first page has other footers and headers like the pages that are following, or the last page of document should differ from the other sides. So this is taking a lot of effort to realize it in NAV. We also can insert all kind of graphics that Word can import. In NAV just can use the GDI plus formats, so you have a limited set of graphics. In dox42 you can use all of the kinds of graphics that Word can import. So this is, I think, you have to search a lot to find one format that is not supported. Well, the last thing is something we added to our module, that is a customer request in many projects. They want to print documents in different trays. So you have one quote and you want it in white paper, in yellow paper, and red paper, and it should be printed out simultaneously in 3 trays. And we integrated this in our solution that I will show you now. Okay, so it's time to get out of your NAV reporting depression, and I like to hand over to Christian, who will tell you some more technical background about our solution.
Yeah, thank you very much, Michael. Okay, dox42 is all about designing report templates in Microsoft Office. This works in Microsoft Word, Excel, and PowerPoint. So what you can see here on the screen is on the left side, this is a Word document, and it's open in Microsoft Word, and there are Office add-ins by dox42. This is simply an additional ribbon page, and it's activated here. Yes, and from that ribbon page, you can start to design this document. As you would design, as you would write a normal Word document, you can enrich this document with data fields and other controls to add data. And this data can be added not only as textual data, but as Michael said, as images, charts, tables, hyperlinks, Google Maps, barcodes, PDF documents, and many more formats you can think of. So the best thing is that you can integrate data from various sources. So of course Microsoft Dynamics NAV, we will concentrate on that in this webinar. And Michael will show you in an extensive live demo how this is done. But you can also integrate data from Microsoft CRM or AX. CRM and AX is, since a few days, you would call it Microsoft Dynamics 365 for sales or for operations. That's supported. Of course, SAP, SharePoint. In many projects, customers want to integrate data from SharePoint as well, additional data from SharePoint, images or additional documents. Microsoft Excel, WebServices, and of course databases. So everything you would query by SQL. And you can combine these data sources in a very, very easy way. We will show you that in a minute. So how is the technical overview of the product dox42 NAV Document Creator? That might look complicated at first glance, but believe me, it isn't. Actually, everything starts with the template design in Microsoft Word, Excel, or PowerPoint. This is done. Everyone who is quite a bit familiar with Microsoft Office can do that. And what you do along that, you map data from various sources, especially NAV, table-data or report-data, or additional data sources like SharePoint, databases, SAP, and so on. When you're done with that, you deploy it to a dox42 server, and then you can call from Microsoft Dynamics NAV, you can call the document creation. You just press a button where you want to where you configure your button. The dox42 server is called and creates a document. Finally, this document output, yes, the document can simply be returned as Office format or PDF or whatever, but it can also be directly sent off via mail or stored to SharePoint or both, or printed, of course, to different trays, or sent off to DocuSign for digital signing, and so on. So there are a lot of options, and that's very easy to configure that. So there are actually 4 ways to access NAV data from dox42 NAV Document Creator. The first and simplest way that works in really all cases is SQL. dox42 comes with a SQL data source, so you can connect to any SQL database, and as long as there is a SQL server below your NAV, you can connect to that. The next one is to use page Query-OData. So you know that you can export a page or a query as OData service, and you can connect to that from dox42. You can use that from NAV 2013 on. So, and then comes the funny stuff. It's table data. You can connect to that through the dox42 NAV Table-Data data source. It comes with the dox42 NAV Document Creator. This is available since, and you can use that with NAV 2009 and upward, of course. And that comes along with the business logic. So it's not only table fields, but it's flow fields and so on. And then the best thing is the NAV Report-Dataset. Also comes along with the dox42 NAV Document Creator from NAV 2015 only, of course. But here you have the whole business logic that was programmed in the Report-Dataset at your fingertips to integrate that in your document. And this is, in most cases, this is a very good starting point. So you can create your layout around the report logic and then enrich it with additional data from table data, from SharePoint, or whatever you need. Okay, and then, yeah, I would like to pass back to Michael, who will show you that in an extensive live demo. And yeah, I'm really looking forward to that.
Okay, so let's dive into a real-life scenario. So I will go on my virtual machine here, and I will give you a short introduction into the thing I want to show you. So what I like to do is, we NAV people all know famous top 10 customer report. That's just a report Microsoft is showing us all the day long, and it goes like this. So it's a simple report that will analyze the customer data and will show us the sales sums in the rank, and it will also make yes, a kind of diagram. Yeah, so please don't ask me about my opinion about how this is made, because it's not really the way that I can see now would like to see such a graphics, but we will do it in a better way now in our solution. So what I want to do is I want to use the top 10 custom list report from its business logic. So I will use the data set from this report and will enhance it with some more things in my word layout. So I already prepared a bit because I don't want it to start from scratch. So what I already did is I made a little Word file. So what you here seeing is Word, and Word has already plugged in our dox42 add-in, and what you already can see is I have yeah, set up some tables and yes, some captions for text, but you already can see the dox42 placeholders, and these placeholders are linked to the data sources. And the first thing I want to show you is how the report is looking like at the moment. So I just can go up there and press the generate button to test the report, and it will then ask me the input parameters of my request page. So I will come to this later. For now, I'm just will skip this and will let the report be created. And so you're now seeing the report as we will start. It's starting with the rank number, with the customer number, so the name and country is missing. We have already the sales amount, and we have a nice looking top 10 pie chart at the end of this report. So and this is already out of NAV live data, and I will show you how this is set up. So the first thing I will do is I will go into the data map. The data map is our entry point where we define which data sources we like to use, and we have all these data sources that are in the main product of dox42. in every installation. So we have here in SQL database, data source, Excel data source, web service, SharePoint, XML, Word, and so on. And the two things we have developed for our new product, the NAV Document Creator, are these two new data sources. So we have the NAV data source that will make a link to an NAV table, and we have a second data source, the report data source, that will load the data out of a normal NAV report and will bring you back the data set into your Word report. So I have already set up these data sources in here, and so what you can see here is our NAV report data source for the customer top 10 list. Please forgive me that I gave him a German name, but here in the settings, everything will be in English language. And so let's have a look at the connection settings. So you can set up one of these data sources like you would do this in NAV. So we have for sure a server name, port name, and this is the name of our service tier. We have already included multi-tenancy, so this probably will be a feature that is very important in future time of NAV. We have different authentication methods here, and the most important thing is here at the end our part where we can select the company and also the language, and also the report that we want to use. So here you have a dynamic list of all the NAV reports. You can select one of these, and after you did that, you can select the data item. So in this case, we just have one data item. You can surely think of more complex reports with a kind of hierarchy of data items, so you can choose different ones, and you can give it a name down there, and you also can define which language should be used. So we also have multi-language support, and I will later show you in NAV you can select the language out of NAV. So if you like to print a report in different languages, you also can define this in NAV, and it will override the settings you see here. The second thing, which is the most sophisticated part of our solution, is that we now are loading the request page from the report that we have selected. So this is a very cool part of our software. We use the new possibilities of NAV up from 2015, and so no matter which report you choose, you will see the request page, and you can add the report parameters in fixed numbers or fixed values, or you can just go back and use data that is already handed over from other data sources. So here in the first two things are input parameters that you can define. You have seen this as I started the demo. He will ask me the parameter at the beginning of the creation process, and you will also be able to define these parameters in NAV before you start the report. So a kind of request page NAV. And if you already have defined the input parameters in NAV, you can use this value to fill in the request page here. But I could also just simply type it in. And once you did that, you're also it's also possible to test the data set. So this is already a very cool feature here. You can have a look into the data set, and you can see in which fields there are numbers, or if they are not filled out and they are not in use at the moment. And for sure you have the Add New Fields section where you can have a look at the data set and all the fields, and you can select which of these fields you want to include into your Word file. So coming back to this, in our report here we don't have the name in our report. So what I can do is I can click on the Insert Data Field button. It will show me my data source on the right side, and I will open my customer top 10 list, and I can simply select the field, in this case my name, customer, and I will drag and drop it into my table on the left side. So if I would now run the report, I will see my name, the customer name, but what I also like to see is the country of this customer. So all of you that are familiar with NAV know that the country is not a part of the dataset of the top 10 customer report. So this is something you normally would have to ask an NAV developer to add this field into the report. But in our solution, you now can simply do it on your own. So what I'm going to do is I will go back into the data map, and we'll make use of the second data source we have, the NAV data source for tables. And what I will do is I will go into the connection settings and choose the customer table. So in this data source, you can select the table where you want to look up data, and I will take the table 18, so the famous customer table, and once I have loaded this table, I can also go to Add New Fields, and it will show me all the fields of this NAV table, also with the captions, and you can even search within this table by number or internal name or caption. So I can type in sales or any of these currency, and you can simply choose the fields alike by clicking them. And I already have chosen here the country region code, name, number, salesperson code. And for sure I can also test this data again with a test button and have a look into the data. So everything is fine, the columns are filled with data. One final thing is that you also are, it's possible to put filters on this table. Yeah, so I can click the filter button, and if I would like to place a filter on the country region code for US and Canada, I simply could define this parameters here in my front end. And this is dynamically loaded, so this is no demo data, but this is through our new interface. It's really out of the NAV database. You also can access all your own fields, so not just standard NAV fields, but if you have customizations, you also will see all these customizations in here. And we even made the possibility to define the famous flow fields. So if you have flow fields on a table, you can create a flow filter statement here, and in our report this would be a good idea to make it on a customer table or on an item table to define a date filter. Okay, so now I have my my data with the customer number and the country region code, and I would like to have a country region code. What I have to do is I have to link this customer number with a customer number of a top 10 customer report. So, and I can link any kind of data source within here with a filter sort statement. So what you can see here is that I'm linking the number field with the already existing customer number of the top 10 report. So this is the kind way to do it that you can combine data. So even if I have a data source that is out of NAV, but I have the same keys, I can use this data and link it here in the data map and use it in my report. So coming back to our design mode, I now can go into the customer data source and simply choose my country region code and drag and drop it into the country column. So what I now have is, if I go through the input parameters, is a new report, and now we have a name and we have a country that is not in the data set of a top 10 report, but we have just added it here. Show you in this example is what would be a fun kind of thing is if I could use this chart, but I want it not in this orientation. So in Word, this is a standard feature. So I can go in and insert a page break. So I have a chart on the next page, and I can change the orientation to landscape. So what you are seeing here is I have a mixed layout. And so the customer, he has a possibility to have a look at the diagram on a whole site. And I also could change here the header and footer. So if I say it's, I like to have more place on this side, I just could simply delete it. So you can see here we have the header still there, but on the second page it's not there. And now I have this new kind of design. So you see we have a mixed layout, and you have plenty of room to place your graphics. And even if you have graphics with more detail and more data, this makes a lot of sense to do it that way. Maybe you're wondering, how is that chart being generated? So this leads me to another very cool thing about our solution we have developed. We have an Excel data source, and you can use Excel for any kind of calculation and diagram to use it into Word. And the way it works is like this. So the first thing you would do is you would create a kind of demo worksheet. So this is a very simple example with number, name, and sales amount, and I created a little graphics onto this data. And at the moment there's just demo data. So, and in my Word file, I can make a link to this Excel file. So you can see this is the Excel file I just opened. And now I can initialize this Excel file. And I can say, okay, in this Excel file, in the column C in row number 2, I want to insert the data from our customer top 10 list and the name of a customer. So during the creation process, this data from the NAV report will be filled into this Excel file. You can see the extend range. This means that If you have 10, 15 or 20 rows, it just will fill them up. And the same thing is here with the sales amount. So the sales amount is also coming out of the top 10 report and will be filled in. And in the last part of this dialog, you can define what you will take back into your Word file. So now I just will say I want the charts to come back into my Word file. I also could define print ranges or data, but for now I'm fine with the charts. And so he will show me the chart in my data source, and I can simply drag and drop it again into this document. So with this kind of technique, you can nearly make every kind of diagram or graphics. You can use the full range of functions of Excel. And it's very hard to imagine some cases where you can't make a solution with Excel. You can even use pivot diagrams, pivot tables to make certain kind of calculations to get values. There's nearly no limit to it. Okay, so let's stop this thing with Word. I want to show you another nice thing in PowerPoint, because you can not just use Word as your design tool, but also PowerPoint. So in many cases, the customers have a need that they need a PowerPoint presentation for the sales team every month before the management, and up to today there's no real tool with it you can automate such a process. So the PowerPoints are still made by hand, and it is very time consuming. And yeah, up from today this is no problem any longer, because dox42 has also a PowerPoint in. And the great thing about is the data map you already have built in Word, you can double use it. So you don't have to build up again the data map. So if you have a data map that is good for your needs, you just use it again here. And what I did in this case is I made a customer top 10 PowerPoint, and for each customer I will have one slide, and there will be data in this PowerPoint out of 3 NAV reports and 1 NAV table, the customer table. So a very cool example to show how you can combine different reports in one document. So if you have a customer that wants data from, you have 3 different NAV reports, and there's one field that is calculated very sophisticated and another report with a very sophisticated number, but you don't have a report where all these 3 numbers are on one page. You can combine it with dox42. And so let's have a look at this. So you can see we have another report data source here, the customer item sales. So you will see the items that a special customer has sold in the last month or in the total period. And I even can add here a sorting order, because when the NAV report for customer item sales has no sorting in it. So it just will throw you out the items without sorting by name, or I don't really know which kind of sorting standard is using, but I want to have it in descending sorting order by the sales amount. So I can manipulate this in dox42. And I also have added here another report which will show me the open order amount. So in this PowerPoint, you see now the different fields out of different sources. I have the sales amount from the top 10 customer report. I have the open order amount out of the open order amount list. I have the items from the customer items list sorted by the sales amount. And I also included here a graphics field. So I will include graphics from my network drive from the salespersons. I also could load them from SharePoint, but in this case I will use the network file. So let's generate this example. It will again ask me for the input parameters and my date filter. And now it will generate the PowerPoint file. This will take a bit longer since it will render also the graphics in it, but it shouldn't take too long. So here we have it. So now we have a top 10 customer report, or better say top 15 customer report. And for each customer, I will see all the data with my salesperson graphics and all the data from the 3 different reports I've added to the data map. Okay, so I think you got a good overview how to work in the design tools of Word and PowerPoint. And now I will show you some screenshots how this is integrated in NAV. Because a big part of our solution is the objects we have programmed here. And so first thing I want to show is how you will start the reports. So there's actually nothing special about this because we just simply added our menu items to a page. So we have special page actions, and I can simply click on this page action if I want to print this report. But what you can see here is that something Christian had already said in one of the slides at the beginning of our presentation today. dox42 gives you the ability to not just generate the file in PDF or in its Office. You can also choose where it will be stored. And so you can see here, you can choose if you want to email it, if you want to send it to the printer in the finance department. You want to save it to file, to Office 365, SharePoint. You can open it at PDF or in a Word file. And all this can be configured in our dox42 configuration. So if you don't like to have the option to open it in Word, you just can throw out this option. But in this case, I simply click on Show PDF. So let's go for it. It will ask me the input parameters. So this is the kind of thing how we made the solution that we are asking the user for the input parameters. And this is a special wizard we made because it could be the case that you have to also to provide input parameters of data sources that are not in NAV, because in our Word files in Docs we can use also data from SharePoint or SAP or SQL database. So we made a broader solution here. I have a data filter, and so now I click on Generate, and it will take a second until the report is generated. In the background, it has now generated the NAV report. So you have a kind of dependency on the speed of the NAV report for sure. So if the NAV report takes 2 hours to calculate, it also will take 2 hours here. But this is no fault of dox42, but of the NAV report. So this is the report we generate just a few minutes ago, and you see it comes out in PDF. But I also could say, oh, I like to see this in Word because I want to change some things in it. I want to make some annotations for the CEO in my graphics, and it will show me the file in Word. And here I am. The same is with the PowerPoint. So I can say I want to this be generated in my PowerPoint file, and it will open the PowerPoint file. It takes a bit longer because of the graphics, but and this is free reports that are executed. But in the end, yeah, it looks like you have seen it before. So yeah, just one last thing before I want to hand over again to Christian. This is how it looks in the configuration. So we won't, or I won't go too deeply into this in this session, but you can define here which kind of output configurations you want for your documents. You can define which kind of permissions should be necessary to run the report. You also can define the input parameters for the different reports that the user should be asked. And one very cool thing is the printer configuration, where you can configure which printers you will use in which department and which trays and how much numbers of copies, if it will be used in duplex mode or not. So we also included here quite some printer magic in our tool that you can use in combination with dox42. Okay, so but I think we are running out of time, so I will come back to Christian, and he will give you some ideas of how you can use our product in some real-world use cases.
Yes, Michael, thank you very much. Thank you for the very cool last demo. Wow, it's amazing. So I will just take 2 minutes to run you through that. This is real-world use cases our customers are doing already with dox42 and dox42 NAV Document Creator. Yes, one is to use data from other external data sources. For example, SharePoint. You could include graphics or even whole documents like little ads, for example, in your documents from SharePoint. You can very easily link to that. Another option is to integrate whole documents, manuals, certificates, and so on, and images, of course, from other data sources in your documents. You see a sales order integrating the images of the product, so you can see the product you ordered. Another option is to use Excel graphics to visualize things. We saw that in a live demo with the top 10 customer report, but it can be of use in very many reports like sales reports, project management reports, and so on. Yeah? You can visualize data very easily. Another thing is that you often have documents that require a big individual amount of data. For example, think about a complex offer. So the major part of the offer is structural data, like the offer items and so on and so on. But there might be a project description included, and that's really individual text. And you can integrate individual text, individual things into your documents, or you can create a document as a Word or Office document and work on it afterwards. So you can pre-create it. That's two options you can do with that. Catalog creation. You can, you will not use it to create whole catalog for all of your products probably, but you can create a customer individual catalog featuring exactly the products the customer normally used to order. And then tickets and vouchers. You can use barcodes, of course, but also things like Google Maps. So this is one of our sample templates. By the way, you can download these sample templates from our websites for free and just give it a try. And this sample template, for example, includes Google Maps automatically, and then advertisements for depending on the destination city and destination time, and of course presentations. Yeah, we saw this how you can create presentations with dox42, and you can do individual product presentations, for example, or sales reports. So there's a lot of options what kind of presentations you can create automatically. And what you can do with these presentations, for example, is to put them on an info screen. There's the option. What you see here, this is the coffee kitchen of BSH in Bayreuth, and they are visualizing the project status of their running projects on an info screen, or KPIs of the company. But you can also imagine to visualize status of machines, of productions, and so on an info screen. It's digital signage at a very low cost and very easily to realize that. So this is just a few ideas what you can do with dox42 and dox42 NAV Document Creator. Okay, so thanks for staying with us that long. Now you have the option to ask us some questions. We will still be here and answer your questions. To ask us questions, you can type them in the questions panel in your GoToMeeting panel. So let's see if there are any questions we may answer you, or if anything is clear or anything is absolutely unclear. In that case, please ask your questions. So let's see. It seems that, Michael, everything we said was absolutely clear, because there are no questions showing up at the moment. We give it just one more minute. So in case you want to ask any questions, just type them in the questions panel, and they will be here for you answering that. Meanwhile, of course, we will be happy if you contact us directly. You see our contact data on the screen here. And we will be here for you to answer your questions, or also provide you with individual online meetings to discuss the options in your product and your project. Okay, no questions, everything clear. Then from my side, thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much for staying with us. And yeah. Goodbye and take care. Michael, would you like to say the final closing words?
Well, all the best for you all, and if you want to see anything in depth, just come back to us, call our number or take our email, and we will be happy to show you the full function of our product, and I think you will be very happy with it. Goodbye.
Okay, thank you. Goodbye. Take care.